Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another 1.18 Snapshot opinion video. This one we're talking about 21W38A. Got a couple of changes in this one and 3 technical adjustments, and of course I'll fly around and show you a lot of cool stuff. As was the case with the previous snapshot, this one you can't load older worlds into it. You have to start a fresh world for this snapshot, not backward compatible yet. So the first change they made was to sprinting. It used to be if you were sprinting and you bumped into a wall a little bit, it would stop you from sprinting. Now you have to bump into the wall pretty hard, like directly on, in order for it to stop you from sprinting. Otherwise, if you're running through the nether or through a tunnel and you kind of clip the wall a little bit, you'll keep going. The second change they made had to do with ore distribution. Copper now goes all the way up to Y95 as they originally intended, and copper can be found more abundantly, which is going to be fantastic. Plus, lapis lazuli now generates in blobs like other ores do. Rather than finding an individual piece, you'll find little clumps. Man, how can you not get excited seeing this? This is just the coolest thing ever. Seems like every corner I turn, I find something cool, like the way these houses are built on the cliff edge and how the one house is built across the river. Kind of an interesting, like a toll booth almost. And then as we go down here, the river like freezes, turns into a frozen river. Really weird and cool transition. You know, generally speaking, the biome transitions feel pretty good. You know, like here we've got jungle to the left, savanna, mesa in the middle. This jungle tree spilled over into the mesa biome. Looks like it's too close to the desert, so it got all dried out. It's kind of cool. Ugly, but really cool. Occasionally you run into these little microbiomes, which I think is really cool, you know, and as long as they're appropriate, you know, a little bit of mesa in the middle of a desert, I think that makes sense, and it's just kind of a cool thing to find. I have found some buggy things like this, where, you know, it's probably right on a chunk border. Yep, and just some weird generation. The other 3 changes in this snapshot were all technical. The first technical change is there's a new setting called simulation distance. Now the difference between render distance and simulation distance is render distance is how far you can see. Simulation distance is how far the game is keeping things loaded, like updates and entities. So the idea is if we wanted to see really far, we could kind of crank it up a little bit, let's say 24 chunks. But if we don't want our computer to work so hard, we might lower this to, let's say, 8 chunks. Now you can see it's rendering out all of the chunks there. Computer is spinning up a little bit. I can hear the fan going. I'll just fly up in the air here. What's cool about this is with the new mountains and everything, you can kind of see them off in the distance, which is pretty cool. But beyond 8 chunks, it's not rendering any entities or updates or anything. So it seems to be performing actually pretty good. I'm just curious, what if I go like all the way up, let's say 32 chunks. I'll just leave it at 8 chunks. Hit done, done, back to game. Okay, it's rendering everything out. Computer's spinning up a little bit. Wow, you can see really far. Okay, I think we're all loaded up here. If I just start moving a little bit. Frames are a little flickery. Yep, little staggery as things start to load. So I think I definitely noticed an improvement. I mean, it's not like magic or anything, but you know, if you don't have a super powerful PC, if you keep your render distance at a reasonable amount, but turn that simulation distance down a little bit so the CPU's not working so hard, I think it really helps. The second technical adjustment they made is they increased the amount of background threads. Background threads handle tasks in the background like world generation and stuff like that, and previously the game was capped at a limit of 7 threads. They just increased it to 255 threads. So if you do have a really nice PC, it should handle world generation really, really well. So the third technical update they're adding is telemetry, and this was something that existed in the game up till 2018, and for whatever reason they pulled it, but they're putting it back. And all that means is they're going to collect diagnostic information so they can see how people are utilizing the game and how it's performing on their machines, things like that. So in this day and age, everybody collects data, whether it's Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, whomever. And it's not so much that you need to worry about hiding your data from everybody. You should just be aware of what they're collecting and manage it. Sometimes it's useful and sometimes it's not. And that's this snapshot. Just a couple of adjustments and a few technical changes. Hopefully we see a new snapshot next week. We've only got about 14 weeks left in the year, and they had said that they were planning on the update coming out around holiday, so we'll see how that goes. Very exciting times. I'm sure we're going to see lots of changes coming really fast. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.